So this is you, Queen of Coins, because you're an Earth sign. If this is you, you're gonna be getting your sought after victory here. It could be that you hear from this King of Cups that he feels foolish or that he feels sad in some way, because you are clearly the best. You know what I mean? But no matter what he is, because the next to that Fool reversed, who knows what that'll be. But you'll be getting your zen here, your peace, understanding that you've already made the transition. You see how she's already looking away from this kind of mediocre or low vibe or destructive kind of relationship energy or work energy. This is at your job. You've already mentally left the building a long time ago. You're not waiting around. You're going to be moving on quicker than anyone really wants you to. Because there's been a lot of seduction or deception or false promises or false offers or something here where your heart was involved. So they maybe promised you a position that you always really wanted, and see, somehow you're not connecting. Somehow you only feel good if you're encapsulated here, because the outside world in this card is not producing the kind of environment you really want to be in. So you can have a good, peaceful moment here, but it's got to be in your, on your own terms. It indicates that the outside world is not cooperating. And this card means that you're transitioning here away from all of this energy under this full moon. It could be under these cards here, it could be that you get like an apology from a person who's maybe been holding on to your heart or your hopes, but see, they're not looking at each other. It's like if you're hoping to connect with this person, if you're the King of Cups watching this and you're hoping to connect with this is the Queen of Coins here, sitting inside her little bubble. Like, they're not talking, they're not looking at each other, they're not communicating, they're kind of both meditating. I don't know, you might find that you're both dreaming about each other maybe under this full moon, but that's... You're moving, whoever this female energy is, I think, is moving past all this like fantasy and escape. This Knight of Cups reverse is an escape from reality. It's a short-lived love affair that's only an escape from reality. It's not for real. It's not for keeps. It's just an escape from reality. So you're moving past that here under this full moon. Understand that this is the key. Ending this, death reversed, ending this has been a fear. It may have been at one point the key to something big for you. We do that with fantasies and dreams a lot of times. We'll make them the key. You know how like Dumbo had a feather to fly, but he didn't really need the feather. The ability to fly was within him the whole time. But sometimes when we have to make big changes or big leaps of faith in our own lives, we latch onto a dream or a fantasy. It could be that the fear, this Tower reverse is a fear. It's going to be the last challenge. It's going to be the last boss fight, no doubt. You're going to have to give this up in order to progress. It could be that you have to end this here, Earth sign. You have to drop this cold turkey on this one. Because that is the key now. If this fantasy, if this short-lived and probably low vibrational, low build situation was the key, like if you were leaving a job and you had to take a quick job to get out of somewhere, if you got fired or your job got canceled, right? And you had to take a new job just to make ends meet, you maybe thought it was just going to be temporary. It may be dragged on longer than you wanted. Now you're done. Now ending it, facing your fear here and moving on, now that's the key. That's the key. That Ten of Swords reverse is the key. It's the key to getting out of here. And what's been happening here is there's been, you may have been hearing, listen, because here's where you're still dancing on eggshells here, even under this full moon. We're going to see what the next full moon will bring to the situation. You're still dancing on eggshells here. What the eggshells are is that there's like gossip or rumors or shit in the air about contradictory desires. So it's like you keep hearing about things, but they don't pan out. Or what you know is happening, no one is talking about. Imagine the confusion if no one in your job knows what's going to happen next week. Like, will the checks clear? Will we have hours? Things like this. And it's been moving forward, but slowly and cautiously. Like, there's just been probably, this card is a lot of starts and stops. Starts and stops. And it's contradictory. It's contradictory. There's a lot of feelings here of not of unfulfilled. There's a lot of feelings here of close but no cigar. And it's making you dance still under this full moon. It's the works of being uncomfortable. It's all the details. It's the whole 9 yards of still having to do this dance here. So you're not able, I don't think you're able to get out of this situation here under this next full moon, which is happening in just a couple of days. But let me get an energy, please. I got 2 here. Okay, well, you have here the Child of Worlds, which is like the Page of Coins, and then the Ten of Worlds, which is like the Ten of Coins. The player and the rewards. When I see these cards, I always think to the victor go the spoils. So listen, play for keeps, play to win. Play to win under this full moon Earth sign. Listen, if there's been a King of Cups who's been foolish or just not able to, this is like having a ton of passion, but it causes a problem somewhere else. If there's been a King of Cups who's been like somehow unsatisfactory and you've had to shield yourself, or if there's been a thing that you really loved and put a lot of focus on, but you've got to kind of like separate yourself now from it because it's starting to feel like it's not real, and you gotta cut that. That's not gonna work, right? The key for you now is to cut that. Maybe you've been afraid to cut it because you thought it was probably gonna be real, but now you know it's not gonna be real. You gotta cut it. Because it's contradictory for you to have all this jerky motion here. You don't like this. You don't like all this taking new starts, and you know that I think you know that you're setting yourself up for a big payday, a big reward, a big legacy, a big project, a big family, a big thing here. You've got your game face on for a long-term reward here. This is legacy. This is big shit. So you made a big decision here leading up to this full moon, and you understand now you're playing for keeps. You're playing for big shit. This is big shit here. So yeah, there can't be any of this bullshit, right? Right. That's what I'm saying. Now, what will the month of March bring to this? If you guys want a personal one of these, it goes a little bit deeper. It covers the whole last year and the next month. It's $5. It's $5 because I want everybody in the world and their mama to get one. Not because it's only worth $5. I shouldn't have to say that, but I do. I don't mind. Let's talk about what the next full moon, the next lunar cycle, the next month of March will bring to this situation. Because you're choosing big shit here. Yep, rest. Okay, you're going to be contemplating. There's going to be some interference here, but it's going to just cause you to make better choices. A bad path may have you going against your nature here, hiding yourself. You're going to end that. Yeah, there's been some restlessness or turbulence here, Earth signs. Okay, there's going to be something new to do. So in the month of March, you're going to have some significant change here. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Wow, card of Leo here at the bottom, strength. I only looked because this took a dramatic turn here. This is kind of juicy. I will get an energy here in a minute. In the month of March, what happens here, Earth sign, is that you rest the interference. You're taking a rest. You're taking a contemplation here, a meditation, a nap. You're resting here. You're going to rest the situation. And I think that you clearly rested because you're focused on something bigger. And there's just too much interference here. You cannot deal with interference when you need momentum. So, like for instance, what do? Okay, so if like I just recently got like a rejection message, right? It was kind of lengthy, but I only read 4 words and then I deleted it because I didn't want to lose my momentum. I understood that the spirit of the message was no, and I just dropped it and walked on because dealing with this interference is going to cause this kind of stagnation. It's going to cause this kind of mental prison. You're putting a rest on this now. Good. Yeah, it's unproductive. And what's happened is there's been a lot of calamity and turbulence and obstacles here based on a lie or a false start or a false promise or a bad seed. And but all that bullshit made you take a new approach. It made you make a change. Because you started to value your stability over whatever this was. Good. That's all happening here for you in the month of March. You've been feeling, I think in March, finally you recognize that you've been going against your nature. You've been compromising a deep part of yourself and hiding. Trying to go covert, trying to go underneath things, trying to hide yourself, or you've been compromising yourself in a big way. These are 2 cards of compromise. Normally the Hermit reversed is rogue, or like using your forces for evil if you're already psychic. You know what I mean? It's using your psychic ability to manipulate instead of to empower, right? So, but you may understand in the month of March that this is not, like, this is the bad seed. This right here is the bad seed. Any place that you need to do this is not a good place to be. You can't get into the temple this way. There's no back door to the temple. There's only a front door. So in March, you're coming, I think, to terms with this because you're ending it. You got to end it. Again, death reverse. You've got to end that. This is not you. You're hiding who you are here in March, and you understand that because you put a rest to interference. You put a rest to fantasy. You deal with reality. The works of reality are clear to you that even though you're focused on something big here under this full moon, you're uncomfortable with where you are. And you have to rest the interference. During the month of March, though, you recognize you're not feeling like yourself. You're not playing like yourself here. And there's a feeling here of ending, having a dramatic end, ending the works of something that's been giving you a lot of turbulence, a lot of restlessness. So whatever's really been itching you, that ends here. It could be that you're ending feeling like you're not yourself, and I hope that's the case. This is the turbulence. This is the bad seed. This is the turbulence. So it looks like you're ending that. You're going to need to choose something. Listen, there's an adage where if you banish a demon, you've got to fill that space in with something new. Otherwise, if you just clean out yourself and stay a blank slate, you will get filled in, but not by the angel you hope for. It's normally the old demon and 7 demon friends. You've got to fill in with something new, because this is an energy here in the middle of March for you, turbulence and restlessness. You've got to pick something new here, and it looks like you do. Ooh, middle of March, there is new love here, and a lot of communication about it. 4 of Cups reversed is where you've been feeling bored, feeling heartbroken or rejected, or rejecting someone's offer, but now you're going to take a new position on that. It could have been back here before that there was some kind of withheld emotion here that caused a direction of a role reversal. Maybe this new love was on the table already, and that got stopped some point in the past. Like you may have had a good interview or a second or third interview at a company, gotten the good nod, and then decide to stay at your current job and now regret that. You know what I mean? It could play out anywhere. Because here by the middle of March, you're taking a stab at this new thing, and you're communicating a lot. You see, that's definitely a notification bar that's going off. Bling, bling, bling. And this is good, because without this new thing, you may go back. And look how good it is. 2 of Cups Eight of Cups. This is where you are allowing new